The rooftop bar is an atmospheric microcosm of modern luxury and subtle chaos, reflecting both the glamour and the unpredictability of Maya's life. Rain pelts the glass walls, creating distorted reflections of neon city lights, lending a dreamlike quality to the night. This setting mirrors Maya's current state on the surface. Everything is polished and celebratory. She is there to honor her promotion, a tangible reward for years of dedication, but beneath, there is a lingering tension, a protective layer built from past betrayals. Maya's independence is hard-won. She trusts cautiously, often keeping people at arm's length to avoid the emotional vulnerability she once suffered. Her gaze occasionally drifts to the storm outside, a symbolic echo of the unpredictable and uncontrollable forces in her life. The bar itself, bustling with laughter, clinking glasses, and murmured conversations, contrasts with the intimacy of Maya's internal world. The audience is immediately drawn into her perspective, experiencing both the thrill of her achievement and the careful vigilance she maintains in social spaces. This duality sets the stage for her eventual emotional entanglement, the tension between desire and caution, attraction and suspicion, excitement and fear, will define how she navigates the complex relationships she is about to enter. Into this charged environment enters Liam Sullivan, whose entrance is magnetic and seemingly effortless. His charm is immediate, a playful smirk, a twinkle in his eyes, and a confidence that borders on audacious. Maya's attention is captured not just by his looks, but by the energy he radiates, the kind that disrupts her carefully maintained emotional boundaries. Their first interaction is flirtatious banter, a verbal sparring that makes her heart race, yet keeps her analytical mind engaged, noting each gesture, each inflection. Liam embodies a paradox. He is both enticingly spontaneous and subtly manipulative, hinting at layers she cannot yet discern. This initial spark is carefully constructed to pull both Maya and the audience into a shared sense of immediacy and attraction. The chemistry feels electric, almost faded, but it is grounded in the realism of Maya's guarded personality. She is intrigued, drawn to Liam's charisma, but her instincts whisper caution. The audience senses this duality, understanding that what appears to be pure attraction may carry hidden complications. Liam's charm masks not only his manipulative tendencies, but also deep insecurities that drive his behavior, which will later create tension and conflict. By presenting him as both alluring and potentially dangerous, the narrative establishes a layered emotional hook that keeps the audience invested in deciphering his true intentions. Just as the flirtation escalates, the introduction of Ethan Sullivan disrupts the scene, plunging Maya into confusion and curiosity. Ethan's presence is understated but potent, serious, reliable, yet carrying a quiet tension that contrasts sharply with Liam's exuberance. When an argument between the twins erupts, Maya witnesses only fragments of their dynamic, interpreting their tension as a romantic or jealous rivalry rather than the complex interplay of sibling loyalty, rivalry, and individual insecurities. This misunderstanding is crucial at places, Maya unknowingly at the center of a love triangle before she fully grasps the situation. The audience experiences her excitement and intrigue alongside subtle unease, sensing that Liam and Ethan's relationship is more intricate and potentially perilous than she realizes. Maya's emotional state, simultaneously thrilled by attraction, confused by apparent rivalry, and wary of entanglement, creates a layered tension that drives the narrative forward. The interplay between desire, curiosity, and perceived danger engages the audience deeply, making them complicit in her misinterpretation and invested in how the truth will unfold. By juxtaposing Maya's vulnerability with the twins' hidden complexities, the story establishes a rich emotional landscape, setting the stage for future betrayals, revelations, and the eventual unraveling of assumptions. The opening incident thus functions not only as a hook but also as a psychological puzzle, priming readers for the emotional roller coaster ahead. Maya Carter's childhood was shaped by absence and overprotection, leaving her with a paradoxical blend of independence and guardedness. Her father's sudden departure left a void she could never fully articulate, a lingering ache masked behind smiles and achievements. Meanwhile, her mother's overbearing protectiveness created an environment where freedom was conditional and emotional expression was carefully monitored. Maya learned early to rely on herself, mastering the art of self-sufficiency as both shield and coping mechanism. Yet this independence came at a cost. She struggles to fully trust men, instinctively questioning motives, reading between the lines, and preparing for disappointment, even in moments of joy. Art became her sanctuary, a private language through which she could explore grief, longing, and hope without exposing vulnerability to the world. Painting, sketching, and digital design are not mere hobbies. They are extensions of her psyche, offering her control over color, form, and narrative when life itself feels unpredictable. By the time she reaches her mid-20s, Maya is competent, accomplished, and admired professionally, yet emotionally cautious, carrying the weight of past betrayals like an invisible armor. The audience is invited to empathize with this duality. Her outward confidence and creative brilliance coexist with her hidden fragility, setting the stage for her eventual entanglement with the twins. Her backstory provides both motive and tension, why she is drawn to yet wary of charisma and charm, and frames the personal stakes that will intensify as the narrative unfolds. Liam and Ethan Sullivan share a history of privilege and pressure that has molded them into complementary yet conflicting personalities. Liam, the elder in temperament if not in birth order, presents as confident, carefree, and magnetic, a social chameleon whose charm draws people in effortlessly. Beneath this veneer, however, lie deep-seated abandonment fears, a relic of early experiences where love and attention felt conditional. Rejection terrifies him, even as he masks it with risk-taking and flirtation, creating an intoxicating, unpredictable allure. Ethan, by contrast, developed a sense of responsibility early on, stepping into a protective role for both Liam and those around him. His reliability and prudence earn respect, but also mislabel him as cold or emotionally detached. Ethan's loyalty is intense and sometimes suffocating, and his protective instincts extend to managing Liam's impulsive tendencies. Together, the twins' relationship is a delicate dance of dependence, rivalry, and unspoken guilt, with every interaction layered by shared history and lingering resentments. While they may appear identical in appearance, their emotional landscapes are distinctly marked: Liam by fear of rejection and need for validation, Ethan by duty and hidden vulnerability. This complex dynamic is crucial for the audience to understand, as it foreshadows the tension that will eventually ensnare Maya, who is initially blind to the deeper truth beneath their smiles and arguments. The tension between charm and control, impulsivity and restraint, forms the emotional backbone of the narrative's central triangle. In the present, Maya's professional and personal worlds collide as she befriends both twins, unaware of their familial connection. Liam's charisma is immediately captivating, awakening feelings Maya has long kept dormant: excitement, curiosity, and the thrill of attraction, while Ethan's quiet attentiveness and subtle gestures offer a starkly different kind of allure: safety, understanding, and understated warmth. The duality is intoxicating yet confusing. Each twin embodies qualities that appeal to contrasting parts of Maya's psyche. Meanwhile, the audience is given glimpses of the twins' private interactions, brief moments of tension, unspoken understanding, and subtle glances hinting at unresolved history, sibling rivalry, and guilt over past actions. These private layers foreshadow conflict, suggesting that what appears as flirtation, rivalry, or camaraderie may have hidden undercurrents that will soon surface. Maya is caught between desire and caution, while the twins navigate their own intertwined emotional vulnerabilities, unaware that their actions may inadvertently cause harm. The stakes are high. Maya's heart and trust are at risk. The twins' bond is fragile, and secrets threaten to disrupt carefully constructed facades. This intricate web of attraction, loyalty, and concealed emotions ensures the audience is fully invested, anticipating the inevitable unraveling of misunderstandings and the emotional consequences of choices made in moments of passion and vulnerability. Maya's evening with Liam begins as a seemingly perfect date, set against the backdrop of a softly lit restaurant where candlelight flickers across their faces. Conversation flows effortlessly. Liam's charm and humor disarm her natural caution, making her laugh in ways she hasn't allowed herself in years. She feels an intoxicating blend of excitement and vulnerability, sensing a rare connection with someone who seems attuned to her humor, wit, and ambitions. But the mood shifts abruptly when her phone buzzes with a cryptic message, an anonymous tip suggesting Liam is hiding something significant. The sudden intrusion shatters the illusion of security she felt with him, planting a seed of doubt in her mind. Maya's mind races, attempting to reconcile the playful, magnetic man before her with the possibility of deception. Her trust, already tentative from past betrayals, wavers. She experiences a visceral mix of curiosity and fear, a tension mirrored by the soft ambient lighting that suddenly feels more intimate and confining. This is the audience's first real glimpse into the stakes of the inciting incident, the duality of charm and concealment. They are drawn into Maya's perspective, experiencing the anxiety and intrigue firsthand. What had seemed straightforward, a romantic connection with someone she might allow into her carefully guarded heart, now feels like a puzzle she must solve. The narrative tension deepens because the audience knows the source of her confusion will soon reveal layers of complexity. A twin, secret histories, and conflicting personalities that will test her emotional resilience. Maya's investigation, driven by both suspicion and an almost irresistible curiosity, leads her to a shocking revelation. Liam has a twin, Ethan. The moment she sees Ethan for the first time is disorienting. The resemblance is uncanny, yet Ethan's demeanor starkly contrasts with Liam's playful, flirtatious energy. He is intense, serious, and possibly forthright, immediately forcing Maya to confront her assumptions and question everything she believed about Liam. Ethan confronts her directly. There is no charm or deflection, only clarity and honesty. His intensity is both disarming and attractive, compelling Maya to reevaluate her feelings and the narrative she has constructed in her mind. The twin dynamic introduces a profound emotional complication. What appeared to be deception or manipulation by Liam may simply be a misunderstanding rooted in their identical appearances. This revelation destabilizes Maya emotionally, heightening her vulnerability and creating internal conflict. Her heart is now torn between the exhilarating unpredictability of Liam and the grounded, reliable presence of Ethan. The audience is pulled deeper into her dilemma, feeling the magnetic tension of two equally compelling figures vying for her trust and affection. The shock of the twin revelation is amplified by the twins' contrasting personalities, making Maya and the audience question not just who she should trust, but how much of what she has felt is real versus projected. The aftermath of the twin revelation propels the narrative into a heightened emotional space, where betrayal, confusion, and desire intertwine. Maya's sense of trust is fractured. She feels manipulated, though the source is unclear. Was it Liam's playful secrecy, Ethan's confrontational honesty, or her own assumptions that led her astray? This uncertainty magnifies the tension of the burgeoning love triangle. Liam's charm and impulsiveness tempt her toward excitement and passion, while Ethan's steadfastness and emotional clarity promise stability and understanding. The conflict between attraction and reason, thrill and safety, mirrors the twins' own fragile bond and their complicated history, underscoring that any choice Maya makes will have consequences beyond her heart alone. The audience is now fully invested, caught in the suspense of both romantic and familial intrigue. They share Maya's dilemma: which twin embodies the right partner? And what deeper secrets lie beneath appearances and surface interactions? By blending romantic tension, emotional vulnerability, and the stakes of trust and loyalty, this inciting incident creates a narrative hook that compels readers to continue, eager to witness the unraveling of misunderstandings, the navigation of desire, and the revelation of hidden truths that will test all three characters. The emotional intensity ensures that every interaction moving forward is charged with anticipation, making the story's trajectory irresistible. As the story progresses, Maya's interactions with both Liam and Ethan become increasingly layered, revealing vulnerabilities and desires that she has long kept hidden. Secret lunches and late-night confessions create intimate spaces where she feels genuinely seen, yet each twin provides a different emotional experience. With Liam, there is excitement, spontaneity, and playful unpredictability. His presence awakens a thrill that challenges Maya's guardedness. Every flirtatious remark and daring gesture tugs at her heart, making her question how much of her trust she is willing to offer. Ethan, in contrast, provides a stabilizing emotional support that doesn't demand reciprocation or romance. His quiet attentiveness, deep listening, and subtle gestures of care create a sense of safety and reliability, allowing Maya to explore feelings she hasn't felt comfortable expressing in years. These dual dynamics create an intricate emotional web. Maya is both exhilarated and comforted, drawn to the intensity of Liam while simultaneously appreciating the steadiness Ethan provides. The audience is drawn into this complexity, experiencing the push and pull of attraction, loyalty, and self-protection. Maya's internal struggle becomes palpable. As each interaction forces her to confront desires she isn't fully prepared to navigate. This deepening intimacy establishes the groundwork for the forthcoming conflicts, making the eventual betrayals and heartbreak all the more emotionally charged. The contrast between the twins' approaches to her, one seductive and impulsive, the other thoughtful and dependable, sets the stage for moral ambiguity and emotional tension, highlighting the difficulty of choosing between passion and stability in matters of the heart. Tension escalates as Liam begins displaying selfish and jealous tendencies, a manifestation of his insecurity and fear of rejection. His playful charm gradually gives way to possessiveness, subtle manipulations, and impulsive accusations. Ethan, meanwhile, remains a stabilizing influence, providing emotional support to Maya without pressing for romantic attention. A pivotal moment occurs when Maya accidentally overhears Liam blaming Ethan for stealing her heart, crystallizing the rivalry between the brothers. This revelation shatters Maya's sense of clarity. She begins questioning Liam's intentions and the authenticity of his affection. Simultaneously, she is confronted with the complexity of Ethan's quiet loyalty and his undeniable emotional depth. The twins' conflict spills into both public and private spheres, ranging from tense social interactions to personal confrontations. The emotional fallout is immediate and intense. Maya feels torn between two equally compelling figures, each evoking different aspects of her emotional needs. The audience witnesses this delicate triangulation, experiencing tension, suspense, and curiosity as the twins' rivalry becomes emotionally destructive. Their arguments are no longer just about affection, they carry the weight of unspoken resentments, guilt, and the struggle to assert individuality within their intertwined bond. Every misunderstanding, heated exchange, and subtle act of sabotage adds layers of complexity, amplifying both Maya's confusion and the narrative tension. The emotional stakes are high. Any decision she makes, or even momentary indecision, could fracture relationships and leave lasting scars. Caught between Liam's magnetic intensity and Ethan's steadfast reliability, Maya is thrust into profound internal conflict. Her ability to trust, love, and choose is tested repeatedly, creating a storm of emotions, desire, loyalty, fear, and guilt intertwine as she attempts to navigate a path that honors her heart while protecting herself. The love triangle reaches a point where every interaction carries heightened emotional stakes, from casual conversations to moments of intimacy and confrontation. Maya questions not only the twins' intentions, but also her own judgment, wondering if she is capable of discernment in love or destined to repeat past mistakes. The audience becomes fully enmeshed in this moral and emotional ambiguity, experiencing heartbreak, anticipation, and ethical tension alongside her. Each public argument or private manipulation between Liam and Ethan is mirrored by Maya's internal struggle, heightening engagement and empathy. The narrative emphasizes that love is not simply a matter of choice, it is a test of emotional resilience, self-awareness, and the courage to face difficult truths. By intertwining romantic tension with sibling rivalry, betrayal, and personal vulnerability, this story ensures that the audience is emotionally invested in every decision, misstep, and revelation. Maya's journey is as much about self-discovery as it is about choosing a partner, raising questions about identity, trust, and the moral complexities of love. The combination of intense relational dynamics and psychological stakes keeps the narrative compelling, ensuring readers are fully absorbed in the unfolding drama. The climactic scene unfolds in a neutral, quiet space carefully chosen by Maya Asmal. Sunlit loft with an open floor plan that forces all emotions into the open. She arranges the meeting with both Liam and Ethan, determined to uncover the truth and make sense of the emotional chaos she has endured. The air is thick with anticipation. Every glance, gesture, and measured breath carries the weight of weeks of hidden feelings, subtle manipulations, and misunderstandings. The confrontation begins tentatively, with Maya demanding honesty, her voice firm but tinged with hurt. Liam's usual playful facade quickly cracks, revealing raw vulnerability. He admits he has sabotaged Ethan in the past, not out of malice alone, but driven by jealousy, fear of losing Maya, and insecurity about his own worth. Ethan, steady but emotionally raw, reveals his love for Maya, confessing years of silent longing and restraint because he respected Liam's desires and their complex bond. The atmosphere is charged, a volatile mixture of confession, shame, and hope. Each revelation redefines the relationships. What Maya had assumed about loyalty, deception, and love is appended, leaving her stunned. The audience, having followed the narrative tension, experiences an emotional crescendo. Years of rivalry, secret feelings, and miscommunication come to a head, demanding resolution. The scene is not just about romantic choice, it is about confronting buried truths, grappling with guilt, and facing the consequences of past actions. Maya is forced to navigate not only the tangled emotions of the twins, but also her own internal conflict, questioning what she truly desires versus what she had been seduced into believing. Amidst the revelations, the twist strikes with emotional force. Maya recognizes that she has been in love with Ethan all along, enslaved by the charm, impulsiveness, and seductive energy of Liam. Her previous confusion, the pull toward Liam's intensity, now becomes clear in retrospect as a response to his manipulative tendencies rather than authentic compatibility. Ethan's honesty, patience, and unwavering support, which she had initially underestimated, emerge as the foundation of a love built on trust and understanding. Liam's reaction is explosive, rage, self-loathing, and profound betrayal manifest in a torrent of words, accusations, and emotional outbursts. His charm, previously disarming, is replaced by a raw, vulnerable humanity that is painful yet fascinating to witness. This twist not only reshapes Maya's romantic choices, but forces all three characters to confront the consequences of suppressed emotions and concealed truths. The audience experiences the shock of revelation alongside Maya, reevaluating their understanding of each character's motivations. The tension escalates because forgiveness, acceptance, and reconciliation are now intertwined with romance, sibling rivalry, and moral complexity. The narrative stakes soar as the audience wonders, will Maya forgive Liam, acknowledge her feelings for Ethan, and navigate the fragile terrain of familial bonds without fracturing relationships permanently? This layered twist ensures emotional engagement and sets up a cathartic payoff, as all the hidden dynamics, manipulations, and suppressed desires are laid bare in a single high-stakes confrontation. The emotional punch of this climactic scene is heightened through powerful confrontations, shouting, tears, and heartfelt confessions that reverberate through the loft. Maya, torn between empathy for Liam and love for Ethan, experiences an intense internal reckoning. She must decide not only whom she loves, but also how to address the damage caused by jealousy, manipulation, and unspoken feelings. Ethan, though hurt by Liam's actions, maintains a quiet dignity, embodying patience and steadfast devotion that contrasts sharply with Liam's volatility. Liam's vulnerability, however, makes him both sympathetic and tragic, his mistakes born from fear, not malice, forcing Maya to grapple with forgiveness as a central theme. The audience experiences a catharsis. Weeks of tension, uncertainty, and moral ambiguity are resolved as hidden truths surface and the emotional landscape is reshaped. Relationships are clarified, some repaired, some permanently altered, and the character's growth is palpable. Maya emerges from the confrontation with a deeper understanding of herself, recognizing her capacity for love, discernment, and forgiveness. Ethan and Maya's bond, now acknowledged, offers stability, while Liam's journey toward self-awareness and accountability hints at potential redemption. The climax succeeds in delivering a potent emotional payoff. Love, betrayal, guilt, and honesty collide, leaving the audience both satisfied and reflective, fully immersed in the consequences of choices, the complexity of human relationships, and the transformative power of truth. The resolution begins with Maya reaching a moment of profound emotional clarity. After the chaos of confessions, manipulations, and heartbreak, she recognizes that her feelings for Ethan are genuine and rooted in trust, understanding, and respect qualities Liam, despite his charm, could not consistently provide. Her choice is not dictated by obligation, pity, or external expectation. It is a deliberate act of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. She acknowledges that attraction can be fleeting, but a deep connection built on shared values, empathy, and stability forms the foundation for sustainable love. Choosing Ethan represents more than a romantic decision. It is a reclamation of agency after months of emotional uncertainty. Maya's decision is nuanced. She is aware of Liam's humanity and the complexity of his emotions, but she prioritizes her own well-being and the authentic bond she shares with Ethan. This moment resonates with the audience because it reflects a realistic and empowering portrayal of love, a conscious choice that honors both desire and personal growth. The narrative emphasizes that true love is not about possession or competition, but about alignment with one's core needs and values. By centering Maya's autonomy, the story underscores the importance of self-trust and emotional discernment, leaving readers invested in her empowerment and the promise of a healthier, more authentic relationship. Simultaneously, Liam embarks on a path of introspection and personal growth. His departure is not an escape from consequences, but a deliberate step toward self-awareness, healing, and breaking patterns of jealousy, impulsiveness, and manipulation. The audience witnesses his vulnerability, anger, shame, and regret intermixed with flashes of genuine affection for Maya, humanizing him without excusing past mistakes. His journey underscores that emotional growth often requires solitude, reflection, and accountability. By choosing to step away, Liam respects Maya's boundaries and allows space for both himself and her to heal. This narrative choice emphasizes that closure is not solely about resolution between romantic partners. It is also about individual transformation. Liam's arc complements Maya's empowerment, highlighting that love, even when unreciprocated, can catalyze self-discovery and maturation. The audience experiences a bittersweet satisfaction while romantic tension is resolved. The story honors the complexity of human emotions, showing that endings can be both painful and instructive. Liam's departure leaves him at a crossroads poised for future growth, but also a reminder of the consequences of unchecked behavior. This duality reinforces the story's thematic focus on responsibility, emotional accountability, and the delicate interplay between love, self-respect, and personal evolution. Maya's resolution is not limited to her romantic choice. It encompasses a broader assertion of independence and self-respect. She sets firm boundaries, communicates her needs clearly, and refuses to allow past manipulations to dictate her emotional life. This act of empowerment is both subtle and transformative. She cultivates a sense of agency, reclaiming control over her heart, mind, and future. Healing is gradual, reflecting a realistic trajectory where self-discovery coexists with residual vulnerability. Her professional and personal worlds are now aligned. She continues to pursue her art with renewed focus, integrating emotional experiences into her creative expression and embracing a life where emotional fulfillment does not come at the expense of personal boundaries. The audience witnesses a full circle arc, from guarded independence shaped by past betrayals to conscious engagement with love and trust. Maya emerges stronger, wiser, and empowered. The narrative reinforces the consequences of manipulation. Liam must confront his flaws. Ethan's patience is validated, and Maya's growth becomes the central victory. Through this resolution, the story delivers a powerful emotional payoff. Love and happiness are attainable, not through avoidance or passivity, but through discernment, courage, and self-respect. Readers leave with a sense of catharsis, inspired by a protagonist who navigates complexity, asserts autonomy, and embraces empowerment in the face of emotional turmoil. Months after the emotional turmoil and confrontations, Maya and Ethan find themselves at a quiet, sunlit cafe, a setting that reflects the calm and stability they have built together. Their interactions are marked by subtle gestures, a shared smile, hands brushing across the table, and a sense of comfort in each other's presence. Unlike earlier in the story, their bond is not defined by intensity or impulsive attraction. It is rooted in trust, understanding, and mutual respect. They acknowledge their shared past, including the confusion, heartbreak, and rivalry that once surrounded them, but these memories no longer dominate their present. Ethan's steady presence reassures Maya, and she embraces the emotional intimacy they share without fear of losing herself or compromising her independence. Their dialogue is calm but meaningful, revealing a relationship that has matured through honesty, patience, and self-awareness. The audience experiences the satisfaction of seeing the protagonists not just together, but transformed by their journey stronger, wiser, and emotionally resilient. This sim emphasizes the narrative's central theme. Authentic love is built on growth, communication, and the ability to navigate past pain without letting it define the future. Maya's creative side, previously a coping mechanism, now flourishes alongside her personal life, allowing her to integrate her experiences into her art, reflecting a holistic form of healing and self-expression. The cafe scene is both intimate and symbolic, showcasing the peace that comes from conscious choices and mutual respect. Meanwhile, Liam reaches a point of introspection and accountability, sending a heartfelt letter apologizing for his past mistakes, manipulations, and jealousy. In the letter, he expresses regret without expectation of rekindling romance, demonstrating growth and a desire to take responsibility for his actions. Maya reads the letter, her response measured and compassionate. She forgives him, not to reopen old wounds, but to acknowledge his humanity and allow herself closure. This moment reinforces the story's theme of accountability and emotional integrity. Mistakes are recognized, consequences are accepted, and personal growth is prioritized. The audience experiences a cathartic release, witnessing the resolution of lingering tension between the characters. Liam's apology allows him to step into a path of redemption, while Maya's forgiveness signifies empowerment. She is no longer controlled by past hurt or manipulation. This dual closure highlights that emotional resolution does not require romantic reconciliation. It can exist through honesty, understanding, and respect for boundaries. The narrative emphasizes that forgiveness is a gift to oneself as much as to others, reinforcing the realism of character arcs and the authenticity of their emotional journeys. By closing the chapter on Liam's actions without reigniting romance, the story honors both Maya's autonomy and the lessons learned from the complex dynamics of love, rivalry, and personal growth. The final beat of the story is subtle yet powerful. Maya sketches the twins in her journal, capturing them as two halves of a complex narrative now resolved. The drawings are not just portraits. They are a visual representation of the emotional journey, the rivalry, the misunderstandings, and the growth each character has experienced. Through her art, Maya processes the entirety of their shared story, transforming pain and complexity into reflection and closure. This act symbolizes her regained emotional agency. She has observed, interpreted, and internalized the lessons of love, jealousy, trust, and forgiveness. The audience is left with a profound sense of catharsis, having followed the characters through heartbreak, manipulation, revelation, and reconciliation. The story concludes on a note of authentic satisfaction. Maya and Ethan's love is grounded in mutual respect and emotional maturity. Liam's journey hints at redemption, and the tangled web of rivalry and secrets has been untangled. Themes of healing, personal growth, and conscious choice resonate, leaving readers both emotionally fulfilled and inspired. The final image, Maya's sketches, serves as a metaphorical bookmark, encapsulating the resolution of complex emotions and the enduring power of reflection and self-expression. The emotional payoff is complete. The audience witnesses transformation, forgiveness, and love achieved through authenticity, understanding, and resilience.